I recently reviewed this, the InCharge 6-in-1 keyring cable, which is my go-to emergency charging cable. Now the maker Rollin Square have sent me this, the altogether beefier InCharge X. So what is it and how does it compare? Let's find out.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
So if you missed my review of the InCharge 6 and wanted to check it out, I'll provide a link at the end of this video. In a nutshell though, these are both keyring cables for use in an emergency to enable you to charge your devices. They are very small and lightweight and designed to get you out of trouble. As an example, imagine you're on a train and the train is stuck and your mobile phone is about to run out of power. You need to make a call to let people know you're going to be late and you want to know where you are using your phone's sat nav, and your ticket for the train you're on is in your phone wallet. Basically, if your phone dies, you are going to be in a whole host of trouble. There are USB outlets on the train, but you need a cable. And now you have one on your keychain. So a must-have everyday carry essential in my book, and if you're like me, you'll also have a power bank with you just in case there isn't a USB socket available. As you can see, the cable is short, so it lends itself best for use with something like a power bank or devices that can get close to a wall socket like a phone. Although if this is your only option, I'm sure it could charge pretty much anything you want in an emergency. Let's compare the old with the new to see if the new one is worth paying a little bit extra for. Okay, let's first look at them side by side so we can see the key differences. As you can see, the new one is more rounded and is, in my view, a nicer finish, and it's got a flatter profile and is a little bit neater. It's a little bit longer in length, but it's also a little bit thinner in that dimension there. In terms of that width, they're both the same. You'll notice straight away this one has a plastic end cap on, and that serves two purposes. It helps to keep the dirt and dust out, which is no bad thing, but it also holds the two halves together. And although they're held together with a magnet, you could still imagine you might get this caught in your pocket and potentially this could come loose. With this end cap on though, it's really held in place tightly, so you're not going to lose it. The braiding on the cable on the new one is also a little bit more heavy duty by the looks of it, and I think will stand up to a little bit more wear and tear, although this one, which I've had in use for a while now, is still holding up really well. Both of these are 6-in-1, which means they replace 6 standalone cables, and you effectively have USB-A and USB-C on one side, and then USB-C, Lightning and micro USB on the other. Multiply those together and you have the 6 cables. So you can see here that the original is USB-C to Lightning and micro USB, and then you can switch round the plugs for USB-A and then USB-C. Whereas the new one starts with USB-C to USB-C, and you can then switch around to USB-A and then to that Lightning and micro USB. So slightly different in the way they are put together, and I think the new one's probably a better option because always the most reliable connection is going to be the one without the plugs attached, and in the case of the new one, that is USB-C to USB-C, which is the way most of our portable electronics are going. The cable used here on the InCharge X is a heavy duty cable with a TPU reinforcement. That's a thermoplastic polyurethane. And then also in here we have nylon reinforcement, and then each wire has what they call an aramid fiber. And all that means this can bend many times, and it can also withstand being carried on a keychain without breaking. So basically it's designed to cope with a lot of abuse. There are still the equivalent of 6 different cables here, and in the case of the micro USB, it is cleverly built into the Lightning plug, and it's not a hugely reliable connection, but you're going to be really happy you've got it in an emergency. And what I've noticed is with the older version, looking at the micro USB, it is actually quite a loose connection here. It doesn't hold it in very well and it can drop out. But with the new InCharge X, it actually does go in with a bit of a click. So this doesn't come out. So they've definitely made some improvements to that lightning stroke micro USB plug. And just to prove that it still works as it should, you can see it's charging as you would expect. The biggest difference though, apart from the looks, is the fact that the InCharge X has a higher power charging rating of up to 100 watts. Now USB-C is capable of outputting at a maximum 20 volts and 5 amps, which equates to 100 watts, and the X can support that. And that's known as power delivery or PD mode. So this has you covered for all your charging needs, whereas the InCharge 6 is only rated for up to 18 watts max, which sounds like a lot less, but will actually cover most people's requirements, particularly when it comes to charging a mobile phone. Data transfer is also covered with the X, with a data rate of up to 480 megabits per second, although the original InCharge 6 now offers syncing as well. And both of these weigh the same, which is 27 grams or 0.9 of an ounce. So when it comes to pricing, the original InCharge 6 costs $19 and the new InCharge X costs $29. So an extra $10. And what do you get for that? Well, you get a heavier duty, more durable cable. You get what I think is a much nicer design. You get the ability to charge at higher power ratings of up to 100 watts. And then you get this plastic end piece, which I think not only improves the looks and stops dirt and dust getting in there, but also holds it together so you're less likely to lose it. All those things added together, and I think that extra $10 is very worthwhile. So my recommendation will be to go for the InCharge X. Having said that, if you're on a really tight budget, then this does pretty much everything you need at $19. And if you really like the concept but are less interested in the compact version, which will go on a keyring or in a small pouch, and would prefer a longer, more practical cable, then that is available too. For an extra $10 on either of these options, you can get a 5-foot cable length. If you want to know more, I'll have a link to the supplier, Rolling Square, in the description below this video. And they've also given me a discount code which can be used for 20% off any purchase on the website, and that's also in the description below. And if you missed my original review of the InCharge 6, you can check that out here. So there you have it, my new go-to emergency charging cable, the InCharge X. I hope that's been useful. Thank you as always for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.